In this video, we're going to talk about safely trading your sports cards online. Now, you can trade sports cards online on Instagram or on Facebook, and a lot of people do this. However, it is not hard for something to go wrong and you to lose your card and your money altogether. There are a few platforms out there that provide a solution to this problem, and the one we're going to talk about in this video is Veriswap. Basically, the way it works is Veriswap becomes a middleman. So each party in the trade will send their card to Veriswap. They will verify and make sure the trade is good, that both parties delivered what they said they were going to deliver, and then they will ship them back out to the respective people. So in this video, we're going to dive into the Veriswap platform. I'll show you briefly how it works, and we'll break down some of the pros and cons of using it and some of the deals I've done on the app. And be sure to stay tuned to the end because I'm also going to reveal a couple good sports cards buying opportunities that I'm seeing right now. Let's dive in. Okay, so first thing I'll show you is my profile. It's a little clunky. We're on the desktop right now. I actually pretty much only use it on the app, which is a lot easier to use. But since this is a bigger screen, we're gonna do it on the desktop. So you get a profile and you can add your cards. And when you add a card, you can determine a price for it. And you all you have to do when you add the card is you just scan this PSA code on the back, and boom, it automatically puts these pictures up and everything. So it is actually, it's pretty fast to upload cards to the platform. So all the cards are on here, the ones that I have. I've set my own price for them. Some of the prices are a little high. You can also hide certain cards. So these are cards that I'm like, maybe like a little bit upside down in, or like I don't want to trade right now. I'm kind of waiting for the values to go up. But I can still have them on the app. So when I am ready, I can unhide a card. Now, I think the best part about this app is actually right here, player preferences. So I can put a message here to people visiting my profile to know these are the types of players or cards that I'm looking for. So I just put the players, but I list a few basketball players that I'm looking for and a few NFL players. You can also put what you do not collect. And in fact, you can actually block certain cards. So I do not collect baseball, soccer, Pokemon, hockey, wrestling, etc., etc., etc. You can change this later, but basically if someone approaches my profile and tries to make a trade, they literally cannot offer a soccer card or a Pokemon card. It just blocks it. It won't work. So for that, it's really helpful. You can filter out a lot of deals that you don't want. You can really just focus in on the types of stuff that you want. So that's the profile. Now let's search for a card. Let's search for Jackson Smith in Jigba. So we're gonna search and we're gonna look at all these listings. They're showing the newest ones first. So a lot to look at here. Obviously I can filter. Let's go like minimum $100. And let's do like a maximum of 500. Okay. So we're seeing a few things out here. Let's see if we can find one that I like. I kind of like this blue wave. I wonder, what is this numbered out of? Okay, the blue wave, let's see. It is numbered. What does that say? 199. Now, when you have a card that you like, they have a couple links on here to check comps on eBay or 130 points. So you could just quickly click that really quick. And I'm seeing just a couple raw sales. There's a PSA 10 best offer, 150. Obviously, we all have like our own little apps and things we use. I use market movers to check. Here's one for 124. So it looks like his pricing is actually pretty spot on at 125. A lot of people have their cards listed way above, including myself sometimes. So now we can look at this person's preferences. He was very brief, just wants Mahomes and CJ. So let's try to propose a trade here. Now it's gonna pop up the rest of this person's inventory and it's gonna order it from most expensive to least expensive. So I can try and see, are there other cards here that I like that I can maybe put together in this trade to do a bigger deal? I'm not seeing anything I'm like crazy about. Obviously some of these are just a little out of my price range right now, but let's just do the Jackson Smith for now. So I'm gonna add this card. Now there's two things I can do. Here I can just express interest. So I don't even have to send through an offer. I can just express interest, and what it does is it notifies them that like, hey, I'm interested in this card. The reason that's nice is because I don't have to take the time and bundle together a trade to send to him. I can just express interest and he can look at my inventory and quickly see if he sees anything that he likes or not. So, but for this one, I know he wants CJ, and I think I have a card that I could include here. So let's go to my inventory. Let's just throw this CJ Stroud Prism. So I know these are comping closer to like $90 and $100 right now. So we might be a little off here, but before I send this offer, I'm gonna just shoot a little message here, like, hey there, I might be a bit off on this, but I think we're close. Let me know what you think. Boom, and we're gonna propose a trade. Now, this is gonna show me how the fee structure works. Veriswap only takes a 1.5% fee. It's only about $3.50. We do have a return shipping cost, and you have to use their labels. And the shipping is high because you have to pay for both legs of the shipping. I have to pay to ship it to Veriswap, and then I have to pay for Veriswap to ship my new card back to me. So you have to pay for double shipping. So that's a fee. In a sense, it's not really a realized profit from Veriswap. I'm sure they make a little bit of a margin on the shipping labels, but so it feels like a fee on our end though, because it's like extra shipping. And side note, that's why this app is generally good to do trades like $300 and higher, because I mean, paying $14 in fees on a $120 card, that's like a 10% bump. So, you know, you can see where that might not make sense. But for purposes of this video, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. I consent to all the things, and I propose the trade. Boom, there it goes. All right, now let's go to action required. We can go here and see I have a couple offers on my end. A few people have expressed interest in cards, so they haven't sent me an offer, but they express interest. And this guy actually sent me through a trade. Let's see what he's thinking. He's got a Pop 1 Garrett Wilson 10-10 rookie auto. What is that numbered to? 49 from Absolute. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. The enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any gamer event. That's a pet peeve. That is just a total pet peeve of mine. I really can't do the whole like not game worn patch. Like literally, what is the point of it? Like this is just a jersey. Like I don't understand it. Like literally just like a chunk of a football and stuff. Like none of this means anything, and it's a sticker auto. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm really into this card. It's a Pop 1, so I already know I'm not really gonna find a comp for it. I don't think his price is too bad, but I would way rather have these cards on hand. I mean, this is kind of a low blow trade offer, honestly. I know my Giannis is listed a little high, but this is actually pretty much at comps on the Scoot. So I'm not even gonna counter this. I'm just gonna go ahead and decline. And when you decline a trade, you can explain why. And I'm just gonna explain I don't like the product. I just don't want that fake patch business in my life. But I appreciate him reaching out. So there you go. But we'll see what will happen with this trade. They probably won't respond by the time I'm done filming this video, so we may never know. Now here I think is the best part of the entire app. So remember how I put my preferences here. So let's say I have a particular card that I want to move. I'll just, for example, just say this like Scoot Henderson card. Instead of searching for card inventory, I can search user preferences. I can search Scoot Henderson right here. Okay, so now I can pull up all the users that have Scoot Henderson listed in their preferences. And I won't spend a lot of time going through this, but I could go through these people's profiles and try to push the Scoot Henderson card and find cards that I like. Now, let me show you some of the deals I've done on this app, and we can kind of break down if it was worth it or not. I traded away my Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Optic Shock, PSA 10, and I received this Garrett Wilson on-card auto. This trade, I gave away the CJ Stroud SGC 10 of a laser prism, and I received 2 raw cards, this Wemby Select Silver and this other Wemby Select Silver. This one was really sharp, and I did grade it, and it did end up getting a PSA 10, which was awesome. When you list a raw card on Veriswap, you're not even allowed to list it above a PSA 8 equivalent. So you can't have people that are like, oh yeah, this raw card is definitely gonna gem. You can't. So you'll have to just be your own judge. And when you execute a trade with raw cards, there's a bunch of disclaimers from Veriswap saying like, hey, this is a raw card. You should have no expectation on the quality of the card. This one actually worked out okay for me because I ended up trading away this card and I received this Tariq Woolen color match auto 10/10 out of 15. Kind of a weird card, but as a Seahawks fan, this is a super cool, unique Pop 1 card. And $65, which is cool. That money just sends to like a Stripe account that you load into it. And I also did a bigger deal here where I traded away a Tatum Optic, this Cade Cunningham numbered to 25 pink, and an Anthony Richardson Prism. And I received a Brandon Miller Silver Prism, a sealed Justin Fields on-card auto optic out of 99, and $50. So I actually was pretty happy with that trade as well. Okay, so a few pros and cons of using this app. So pros, it's really easy to use. It's not complicated, the interface is simple. The fees are pretty minimal. Once you get past that, like the whole double shipping thing, as long as you're doing deals that are minimum over $100, but I would say closer to like anything over $300, the fees are not that substantial. 1.5% isn't that big, and the shipping cost is less and less of a blow as you get to bigger and bigger deals. There are no monthly fees, so you don't have to like have a subscription to this account. You can have an account, have it open, and never spend anything until you actually make a trade. That's a really good part of it, I think. There are other trading apps out there that I'll probably do videos on that you do have to have a monthly subscription. And another pro is it's easy to, as I showed you in that feature before, target people who have specific preferences of the cards that you have. It's when you're at a card show, and there's hundreds of people everywhere, it's hard to know who would be interested in your particular cards. But here you can hyper focus on people that have flagged those certain interests. Now, one big con of this app is it seems like, it's not true, but it seems like everybody wants your cards at 80% of comps and they want to give you their cards at 120%. It is just so infuriating. There are a lot of people that are reasonable on the app, but a huge chunk of people just like refuse to give you anything less than 120% of comps, and they will just beat you up for 70, 80%. It's really infuriating. So for that reason, which is con number 2, it can take a lot of time to actually execute a deal. You can search and find opportunities and find cards, but you may find a card that you like and you might have the perfect card that's in their preference, but they want it at 70% and they want to give you their card at double the value. So it can be really challenging to actually find good people to work with, but you can follow people. So when you find certain sellers that you like, you can keep in touch with them and connect with them. And the last con I would say, which I didn't talk about yet, is when you do execute a deal and the cards are finally shipped to Veriswap and shipped back out, do not plan on receiving those quickly. It takes a very long time, like several weeks. And every time I've done a deal on Veriswap, it's taken several weeks to be able to get the card. So just know that going into it, it's not going to be able to be good for getting time sensitive. If you're trying to really ride the hype wave on something and get something just in time to list it and sell it, it's going to be tough. It's going to take a few weeks. So just bear that in mind. Well guys, those are my thoughts on Veriswap. Sorry this is a bit of a longer video, but hopefully this was helpful. If you're new to the hobby or you're just kind of like getting into it, getting the hang of it, I recommend getting in there, trying it out. This is not a paid promotion at all, although it would be really cool if they did sponsor this channel. So if you're from Veriswap and you're watching this, let's chat. But no, this is just an honest review of my experience using it, and hopefully you found this video helpful. Now, before we close, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to share a couple cards that I'm seeing that are under. First is Joel Embiid, Prism PSA 10. This is the base card. Since February, this is down 59.4%. It's been down as low as $50, 74%. This is really low for an MVP winner. I know Joel Embiid does not get a lot of love, but the 76ers got legitimately better in the offseason. So I am just shocked to see this card so low. I've been buying a couple of them, and I think in general, he's someone to potentially look at. I can't predict whether it will really go up But I'd have to think it can't get much lower than this. Okay, next one is kind of obvious. The Joe Burrow Prism PSA 10. In the last year, it is down 50%. Fall, this time last year, it was $150 card. It fell down to about $100, $110, $120. And it resurged in the summer back to that kind of $150 range. And we've seen it cool off. I'll show you like a 30-day trend here. Just with the 0-3 start and everything, you know, if you can pick one of these up for $100, it might be an easy flip. I think it's easy to imagine this card going back to $150 sometime soon. However, could it fall farther? That's always the question, as if the Bengals continue to struggle as we get further into the season, I could see this card falling to more like $80, maybe $75. So it's something to look out for. Now this last one is only if you are a bit of a gambler, because it's Tua Tagovailoa. As you can imagine, due to everything going on, his prices have plummeted. Massive sell-off of Tua. It's understandable because he may retire, and if he retires, his sports card value is done. It's over. However, if you're a bit of a gambler and you think, maybe he'll make a comeback, you could pick up his Optic Holo. It's down 61% right now. The last sale, $61. This was $170 at the beginning of the season. It's been as high as last season, the beginning of last season. This was a $300 card. $235, $242. And you can really see that dip here. But hopefully you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.